Hello guys, welcome to the part 2 of the collection framework. In this, let's explore something more in this collection interface. Now this collection interface provides you many more features. One of the feature is you can use something called as iterator to iterate from the list, or you can use size to get the size. Now this all this function which is stream, for each, these functions are introduced in Java 1.8, or which is the 8 version. We'll talk about this in the subsequent tutorials. And then you can convert your collection into array also. That means if you want an array from the collection, you can use toArray function. That's it. Let's say I want to add a element after 2, that means before 5. Even if I say, let me just comment this, remove this part. I want to add a element which is, let's say, 3. And if I run this, the output will be it's 1253. But what I want that this 3 should be added after 2. That means I want to add this 3 after 2. But unfortunately, in collection interface, we don't have any function to specify to specify the location or the index number. And that's why we have a new interface called as list. Now list offers you a feature where you can add an element to a specific location. Like example, if I say c.add now, I'm getting one more option which is int index. That means I can specify it should come after 2, which means this index number for this 1 is 0, for this 2 it's 1, and the index number for this should be 2, and the value we want to assign here is 3. That means it will come after 2 now. It's not because of this 2 is this 2, it's just the index number. Okay, let me run this now. Now you can see 3 comes after 2. So list offers you a feature of adding values to any location. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll add some random values to list. Now how to add random values? Let's say I have a list, list of I have a reference of list. Let me add some random values. Now how to add random values? We can use a class in Java which is class random. We'll say r equal to new random. Okay, and we can use a for loop to add elements. We'll add, let's say, 100 elements. So we'll say int I equal to 1 and I less than equal to 100 and I plus plus. Okay, and to add these elements, we can simply say it's c dot add, and we'll say r dot next int. So, and in next int we can specify the value should not be greater than, let's say, 1000. So all the values will be less than 1000 now. So let's run this, and the output you are getting is all these values, and these are 100 values. So you can see we have all these 100 values which are less than 1000. Now what we can do now is we can simply we are printing this all these values, right? But what if I want 100 elements in a sorted order? That means now once I got all these elements, I have to use one more for loop, and then in that for loop I have to use either bubble sort or quick sort, some sort of sorting techniques, right? Instead of that, in collection framework we have a class called as collections. Now this collection class is very helpful if you want to do some extra task like sorting. So this collection class has a method called as sort, in which you have to pass an object. You can see we have to pass an object of list, and the object of list here is C. Okay. Now if I run this code, you will see you're getting all the elements in a sorted order. So we don't have to sort it. Your Java or your this method sort will sort all these elements. Now what if instead of list, if I had a collection? If I had a collection, it will not work is because, okay, it's because this sort method needs a list reference, not collection reference, so it will not work. And that's the another difference of using a list interface. So instead of collection, we can use list, which gives you this feature. Okay, so you can sort it also. Okay, so now we know how to use collection interface and how to use list interface. We have seen one more thing called as random class to add elements and to print elements. Now further we'll talk about this in the subsequent tutorials. Thank you so much.